welcome to Slightly Inaccurate History. Yeah, so I'm in a box and I thought, why not do a slightly inaccurate history of Ruth Handler, who you may or may not know was the creator of Barbie. Ruth was born in 1916. She was one of 10 children, so she was from a big family. When she was young, I think it was like when she was a baby actually, but when she was very young anyway, she was sent to live with her sister who ran like a little, I think it was like a little drugstore business. So Ruth grew up under the mentorship of her sister, and she became really interested in business in general, and so she wanted to be a businesswoman. The lighting's not so good in here, is it? Oh, that's all right, I'll lean out. So she was under the mentorship of her sister, running this little drugstore. So that was all fine and dandy. She was doing that for quite a few years. She then met her husband-to-be. His name was Izzy, but for some reason he went by the name of Elliot. So her and Elliot fell in love, got married, moved to, I don't know, this was in America somewhere. They both got jobs at Paramount Studio, I believe, which is quite irrelevant really, but they both were working there together anyway. Because of Ruth's love of an interest in business and entrepreneurship, she encouraged Elliot, and the two of them started a business making furniture. And furniture which was made out of plastic, and this would have been probably in the I don't know, let's say late 30s, early 40s, 1940s, let's say. So that was all fine and dandy and going well. So they were doing their little furniture business. I am just going to stop and start in case TikTok does that funny thing. Bear with me. Okay, no, it didn't do the funny thing, so we're all good. Okay, so part 2. So furniture business going all really well. Unfortunately, during the wartime era, so that would have been like mid to late 40s into early 50s, their plastic furniture sales declined. And ever so sort of innovatively, they put their efforts into making toy furniture, because they did have quite an interest in the toy making industry as well. So I'm guessing it was like for dolls' houses and things like that. Ruth by then had had 2 children, one called Barbara and one called Ken. Barbie and Ken. So she was inspired by watching them play with paper dolls. And at the time there only was baby dolls available as far as Ruth could see, and she wanted some adult figure dolls for the children to play, like imaginative play with. Couldn't find anything. On her travels, she found this little doll called Lily. It was in, I want to say Germany, but it might not have been. It was a European country. She found this doll called Lily, took it back with her to the United States, was inspired by it, let's say, and started, so her company, which was by then already was called Mattel, her company started making these dolls called Barbie. Everyone thought this is a non-starter. We're not having adult dolls. Who's going to play? What children are going to play with grown adult dolls? But Ruth was insistent, like she had a real vision for her line of dolls. So they went ahead with like a small production of it, blew up, took off. Anyone wanted a Barbie doll. The first 3 years, they just couldn't produce enough quick enough. They had like waiting lists for Barbies, and then that kind of settled down, and then Barbie's gone through lots of different like styles and things over the years. And what was interesting about Barbie is she always, right from the word go, this is in 1959 I think, by the time Barbie came out. And from the word go, Barbie was quite like the entrepreneur. She was not a mother, which is what all, other sort of playthings and that were aimed at children playing with dolls and nurturing. But Barbie was off out. She was like, I'm going to fly a plane, I'm going to be a vet. She had all these different careers on the go, so that was quite inspiring as well. I'm gonna just stop and start again one more time, just in case. Okay, please don't delete, okay, we're still there. Okay, it's all good, we're still there. So, where was I? The first ever Barbie doll came out in something like 1954-ish. And she had that lovely sort of vintagey 50s look. She had a black and white bathing suit on, and her face was like this. Permanent side eye. I think they changed that towards like the 70s. They let her look to the front then. But originally she was like looking off to the side. And she was like a fashion model type of thing. But yeah, loads of different careers and all that. And anyway, Barbie just skyrocketed. Along comes Ken a few years later. But Barbie was always like the star of the show, much like she's portrayed in the movie, I suppose. Wasn't all plain sailing. So this Lily doll that inspired Barbie did kind of come back to bite her in the end. So I think this was in like the 60s. There was a little bit of a lawsuit. The makers of the Lily doll were like, what the fuck? That's our doll. Like, you took the piss there a bit with your Barbie. That's blatantly Lily doll. And then somehow Mattel managed to get around that and settled out of court. And a year later, they bought out the Lily doll copyright rights and stuff. So I think that was just brushed under the rug. So, you know, they moved on. And that's that, basically. Oh, there was a small little matter of a little tiny little bit of fraud as well in 1975, which Ruth actually got prosecuted for misleading accountancy or something like that, and she didn't do time like inside, but she'd have a bit of community service and had to pay a fine. But other than that, it was all good. And that's the story of Ruth Handler, the founder of Barbie, albeit slightly inaccurately. I hope you enjoyed my little story and my Barbie prop. I couldn't resist doing an inaccurate history once I got this. It's my birthday. My birthday present from work, my friends in work. I just came into the office and there was a big Barbie box in there. Anyway, I digress. Thank you so much for watching Inaccurate History, and I will see you soon. Okay, thanks. Bye.